Hi guys! In today's video, with this cold wind, we're buying a motorcycle again. So to keep in touch with the motorcycles during winter time in Quebec, we do have ice MX, and when it snows too much and the MX on ice is too much maintenance, we have what we call snow bikes, like this Husqvarna here with the Timber Sled Riot. It's like a snowmobile tunnel, so it's pretty square. And turned out, after 2 or 3 rides with it, I didn't like it very much, and I had the chance to try a KTM 200 two-stroke with the Explorer, and it was the most fun I had on the bike since the first time I tried a snow bike with the Explorer and the DRZ 400. So today we're taking advantage. Oh, and if you guys wonder why we suck at road racing in Quebec, that's probably the reason why. Get there, look at the bike, everything looks fine. Chain sprocket here and there, no major issue, so I'm like, okay, I'll take it. It's almost minus 20, so let's just fire it up. Just you know, I trust you. You're telling me it was working last time you used it. Bike's look in good condition, so why shouldn't it be working? But let's just make the things like in the correct order. Like, who buys a bike and pays it and bring it without even firing it up? And so the bike won't start up. The guy, I drove 2 hours and the guy did not even start it up before I get there. Man, it's minus 20. The bike never wanted to start. Not only that, like when I cranked it, I could crank it by hand. So I'm like, man, that thing will never start. It has no compression. I'd say like this bike has 80 psi. So now the challenge is not only will the cheapest bike run awesome along, is will the cheapest bike start when it's warmed at home, and will I put money on it or not? Did I made a good bet buying it without starting it up? Here it is, guys. The KTM I got for cheaper because it didn't start. We'll try to make it start once it's warm. Oh. Maybe with the gas. Maybe use spark plug.
Vai!
Remember what I said yesterday? Coming back from buying the bike, I said like this bike had between like around 80 psi. What is 75, 80? The guy,
75.
the guy knows what he was talking about, eh? New piston, it starts, but I know it's very poor because compression is bad at low RPM. So we'll put in a new piston and see after that. Battery, change sprocket. Alright guys, so it's been 3 weeks since I dropped my cylinder to the local Nikasil shop. So here's the bike, ready to drop the new cylinder in. And I also bought the chain sprocket. So here's what I bought: a new spark plug, gasket, chain sprocket with the aluminum bolt pattern in this, new chain, new air filter, new Pro X piston kit, and here's the new Nikasil in the cylinder. I didn't get time to show you the previous how the cylinder looks like before, so all we need to do now is clean the power valve and put this thing back together. So here we go, new piston cylinder all fitted in, and turned out that I just saw that the intake boot was getting almost leaking. So just bought a new one, and with the new top, and also the old battery couldn't crank the new engine. So, and I bought some new grip, new battery, new intake boot, and a couple of screws for the bike stand. And it turned out that I'm gonna have to grind this modification right here. This bike stand needs like a round sleeve that fits in there. Oh, so starter. So another issue with the bike, no front brake at all. So bike feels like shit, suspension shit, brake shit, handling shit, alignment shit. Well, you're gonna have to change the oil in the forks, take that out, see if I can put it straight, the triple clamp straight. I have to see what's wrong with the front brake and bleed the clutch. So I was a little bit down earlier, seeing like all the handling and the brake were shit on the bike, but I just bleed the front brake. A lot of air came out, so now I have brake. I adjust the rear chuck so spring's not loose anymore, and I just ended up bleeding the rear brake, and before like the pedal could go all the way here. and the previous owner tried to bullshit me like, oh, I just adjusted very loose, that's the way I like it. And and he was like, oh yeah, I noticed a noise with the rear choke. I don't know why it's kind of loose. Man, he didn't know how to screw that all the way to put some preload on the rear coil, and he didn't even know how to change his brake fluid. And so here it is, guy, the cheapest 300 XC on marketplace for 3 grand. Quite happy with the result, and it matches pretty well the Arctic Cat snowmobile in the back. So got the bike for 3 grand. Did put 1 grand to you know, minimum stuff that the bike needed, and now I'm still waiting for the rad guard and the spring for the stand. So it's gonna cost at the end 4.4 grand, and I did put a little bit more stuff on it, but now I know that all the fluids are brand new on the bike, and everything is in top shape condition. Brakes, suspension, chain, engine, grips. Also, yeah, I'm just done with the bike stand, the skid plate, new grips, new fluid in the forks. So brake pads are good, bearings are good. So it's quite a decent bike for 3 grand. Well, 4.5. It might be worth 5 grand now. Let me know what you think, and subscribe to the channel if you did like it.